I don't know if you have heard, but allegedly Wendy Williams is already getting ready to snatch back her daytime TV crown after Sherri Shepherd's cancellation.
For all of us here at Sherri. And I know that you have seen the news, and I'm ready to address it. Our show has not been renewed for another season. And I wanna say to y'all, everybody, y'all try not to faint or fall out, because healthcare is expensive and none of us have it anymore. So y'all.
Word on the street is that producers are already circling Wendy's name and quietly talking about a major comeback in 2026, especially since she could be free from her conservatorship as early as next month. That alone is huge news. But here's the twist nobody is really breaking down. This situation with Sherri might be way deeper than Wendy just sliding back into her old seat.
People don't understand when we are in power, the battles we gotta fight that you will never know.
So what is actually happening behind those studio doors? Why has Miss Sherri been so emotional lately? That's the real question. People have been whispering for months that Sherri's show was on shaky ground, and those rumors would not die down. Then boom, it finally got confirmed when they released an official statement saying, Sherri will continue as planned with the series airing its final episodes in the fall. This decision is driven by the evolving daytime television landscape and does not reflect on the strength of the show, its production, which has found strong creative momentum this season, or the incredibly talented Sherri Shepherd. We believe in this show and in Sherri and intend to explore alternatives for it on other platforms. That sounds polished and professional, right? But let's be real for a second. In this industry, statements like that are rarely the full story, especially when insiders claim the show was performing well and was not bleeding money. If the ratings were steady and the production was solid, then why pull the plug now? Something is not adding up and it feels bigger than what they're telling the public. First off, the way the cancellation news dropped had people raising their eyebrows. Most fans did not hear it from Sherri herself. They found out through an article, and that did not sit right with a lot of viewers. This is a daily talk show host who shows up on screen every single day. People felt she deserved the chance to tell her own audience directly, just like Kelly Clarkson did when she announced her show was ending earlier that same day. The timing felt messy, and the silence from Sherri at first only made it look more suspicious. Then things got even more intense when Sherri had that emotional moment while talking about Tyra's America's Next Top Model. It was not just a casual conversation. You could see it hit deep. Around the same time, Netflix released a series breaking down what allegedly went down behind the scenes of America's Next Top Model. Some viewers even joked it should have been called Surviving Tyra Banks because it focused heavily on the chaos and controversy surrounding the show. Tyra already faced major backlash back in 2020. Now it feels like the conversation came back full force, almost like she was being dragged into the spotlight again just to face fresh criticism. And here's where Sherri's platform became part of the bigger story. Sherri had invited former judges from the show onto her own stage, making her show part of the wider debate. But even before all that, Sherri had publicly defended Tyra. She explained that when Tyra first pitched America's Next Top Model, she was a young black woman trying to survive in a tough industry. Sherri argued that Tyra pushed hard for diversity, fighting to include black, Latina, and plus-size women at a time when the industry standards looked very different. She also pointed out that back then, there was no social media pressure, no intimacy coordinators, and no therapists on set to guide contestants through difficult moments. That context changed the tone of the whole conversation, and it made Sherri's emotional reaction hit even harder. Sherri also gave Tyra credit for playing the long game when it came to representation. She pointed out how contestants like Isis King, a transgender model, and Winnie Harlow, a model with vitiligo, were given space on the show in later seasons. According to Sherri, that kind of visibility did not just happen overnight. She made it clear that Tyra helped open certain doors. At the same time, Sherri did admit the show had serious issues. She said Tyra should be held accountable because some contestants were treated poorly. But then she got emotional and reminded everyone that it was a different era. She said people today do not fully understand what it really takes to keep a show on the air.
To keep a show on the air, there are things that we have to do that people will tell us, if you want to stay on the air, this is what you got to do. And we got to weigh the options. And sometimes we make bad decisions and we look up and we go, in hindsight, maybe I should not have done it, but I just want to open the door and give a platform to people who look like me.
That moment felt heavy, You could hear the frustration in her voice. Now here's where things get interesting. After her own show got canceled, some viewers went back and listened to that clip again, and they started saying it sounded deeper than just a defense of Tyra. Sherri talked about how people like her face tough choices, how they are constantly forced to weigh what benefits them versus what keeps them in the game. That hit different once her cancellation was announced. Some are reading between the lines and wondering if she was hinting that she felt pressure behind the scenes, almost like she was being edged out quietly. There are even rumors floating around that Sherri's show ended because she refused to play along with certain industry expectations. Supporters say she kept her platform positive and drama-free, while networks today seem to chase chaos and controversy for ratings. But that is not all. There is also chatter that the split was not smooth at all. Reports claim Sherri was negotiating for a significant pay raise and had asked for changes to the show's structure. Allegedly, she even wanted to scale back filming and work fewer days. If that is true, it adds a whole new layer to this situation, and it gets even more layered. Allegedly, Sherri wanted to film fewer days, but get paid more. The idea was to tape multiple episodes in one sitting so she could free up time to chase acting projects on the side. On paper, that sounds strategic. But insiders claim the relationship between Sherri and Debmar Mercury started to turn cold sometime last year. Even though the ratings were solid and the show was reportedly bringing in profit, her contract was still cut short. Sources say Sherri was completely blindsided. She was expecting a long-term renewal and a major pay bump for season 5. Instead, she got cancellation news. And that is where Wendy Williams enters the picture in a big way. According to reports, Debmar Mercury allegedly made a calculated move to bring Wendy back to daytime TV because of strong audience demand. Wendy's name still carries weight, and now that she is said to be doing much better health-wise, there is talk she could handle a full-time return. While Sherri's numbers were stable, some data trends reportedly showed she was not dominating the daytime space the way Wendy once did. Producers are said to be chasing a major ratings boost, and they believe Wendy could spark that surge. The rumors do not stop there. Word is Wendy has already selected a luxury 3-floor penthouse with a private elevator to make things easier due to her lymphedema. Production is allegedly covering it. There is even talk of a custom purple mechanical chair designed to smoothly glide her onto the stage each show. If true, that is a dramatic comeback setup like no other. So Wendy would not even have to walk out on stage if she is still dealing with mobility issues. Allegedly, production is setting everything up so she is fully supported the moment she steps back into daytime TV. But it is not just luxury with no rules attached. Sources claim Wendy would have 2 full-time personal drivers, and not just for work. She could reportedly use them outside of show tapings too. On top of that, there would be a personal chef and a life coach focused on helping her stay on track with her sobriety. In exchange, Wendy has allegedly agreed to random scheduled testing. That part is said to be non-negotiable. And here is another bombshell. Wendy has reportedly secured a retroactive one-time multi-million-dollar payout from Debmar Mercury tied to how her exit from the show happened. If true, that is a major move, especially considering how sudden and public her departure felt at the time. Now let's not forget, Wendy has been very vocal about wanting her independence back. She publicly questioned why she has remained under guardianship since 2022, even after reportedly scoring perfectly on 2 capacity evaluations. She shared that despite passing a mental capacity test, she still had to wait for another cognitive review, and that process involved her guardian, Sabrina Morrissey. That situation alone sparked huge debate online. In multiple interviews, Wendy made it clear she wants control over her finances and personal decisions again. One of her most talked about appearances was on The Breakfast Club, where she spoke openly about her plans and her frustration. That interview had everybody watching closely.
Cognitively impaired and you're incapacitated.
Do I seem that way?
No.
You've been
God damn it.
You've been calling me 5 times a day for the last 2 weeks. No, you don't seem that way.
And just to be,
How dare, excuse me, who I naturally am is who I naturally am, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yes.
And my niece knows all about that crap. I mean, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Wendy seems determined to reclaim her spotlight, and her fans are fired up about it. Some are even saying they do not feel sympathy for Sherri at all. There has long been chatter that Sherri somehow benefited from Wendy's absence and stepped into her time slot too smoothly. Those rumors have never fully disappeared, and now they are bubbling up all over again. One of the very first moves Sherri allegedly made after landing the show was letting go of Wendy's longtime producers, David Perler and Suzanne Bass. Reports claim that decision came straight from Sherri herself. That alone raised eyebrows because those producers were closely tied to the original show's identity. Then things reportedly escalated. Sherri brought in John Murray, someone she trusted deeply. He was described as her rock, her prayer partner, and one of her closest confidants. But not long after he joined the production, accusations about his behavior started circulating. Crew members allegedly described the work environment as tense and uncomfortable. Some claimed John's strong personality and temper dominated the set. There were reports of staff feeling talked down to, heated moments during meetings, and an atmosphere that felt more stressful than supportive. A few insiders even said Sherri's dressing room sometimes felt like ground zero during conflicts. After months of backstage friction and internal politics, rumors say morale hit a low point. When John eventually exited, some staff members reportedly felt relief. According to whispers behind the scenes, they believed his management style created division, pushed personal agendas, and pulled Sherri into unnecessary conflict. Instead of unity, people felt sides were being chosen. Now with Sherri also stepping away, many are wondering what was really happening behind those studio walls all along. Some people are already saying, good riddance, bring Wendy back. The excitement is loud, and a lot of fans feel like daytime TV just is not the same without her energy. But there is one major complication that could shake things up. If Wendy returns to television, she may have to resume paying alimony to Kevin Hunter. Remember, her divorce agreement reportedly includes a clause that she only pays spousal support if she is actively working on TV. That is why she was exploring options like radio instead of jumping straight back onto a talk show set. A TV comeback could trigger that financial obligation all over again. Now let's be real, Wendy is not new to this game. If she is seriously planning a return, chances are she already has a strategy lined up. She has always been calculated when it comes to business moves, so it would not be shocking if she found a way to protect herself while reclaiming her spotlight. But here is the big question. Do you think Sherri was intentionally pushed out to clear the path for Wendy, or is this all just a coincidence wrapped in industry politics? Have you noticed signs that something deeper was happening behind the scenes? And do you really believe Wendy is about to make that full daytime comeback? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share this video so we can keep unpacking all this drama together.